All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I'm Sanjay Mattu. The headlines. Finance Minister Piyush Goyal to present Union Budget in Parliament this morning. GST collections in January cross 1 lakh crore rupee mark. Defence Acquisitions Council approves indigenous construction of 6 submarines worth 40,000 crore rupees. 2 terrorists killed in an encounter in Pulwama district of Jammu and Kashmir. Germany, France and the United Kingdom set up a payment channel with Iran to help continue trade and circumvent US sanctions. And in tennis, India to take on Italy in Davis Cup World Group qualifiers beginning in Kolkata today. Finance Minister Piyush Goyal will present the Union Budget in Parliament today. Our correspondent reports that the government is likely to announce several welfare measures for various sections of society. Industry bodies expect that the credit flow to industries will increase and corporate tax will reduce. The chairman of the Economic Affairs Council of the CII, Vinayak Chatterjee, said he expects more announcements for addressing farm distress and budgetary provisions for the social sector. He said,
the big expenditure heads in the budget relate to the infrastructure sector. We believe there will be no steep increase in infrastructure spends as happened in the last 3-4 years. However, existing plans and programs that have already been announced, sufficient budgetary provisions will be made to allow them to proceed without any funding difficulty.
Our correspondent also spoke to some common people about their expectations from the budget.
My name is Apurv. Originally, I belong to the Northeast, and my expectation of the forthcoming budget is that the government takes a proactive interest in upgradation of infrastructure in the Northeast.
I am Vineshri from Kurukshetra. There are a lot of expectations from this budget. First of all, I want it to be a common man-friendly budget. One thing more is income tax rates and some rationalization in the income tax so that it is a benefit for the middle class.
The News Services Division of All India Radio will broadcast a pre-union budget discussion including railways this morning from 10:10 to 10:55 on its Rajdhani channel and FM Gold channel. This discussion will be followed by the live broadcast of the presentation of the general budget including railways by the Finance Minister Piyush Goyal in the Lok Sabha from 10:55. Special budget bulletins of 15 minutes each in Hindi from 12:30 to 12:45 and in English from 12:45 to 1 p.m. will be broadcast on the national hookup.
News Services Division of All India Radio will bring you special live day-long programs on the budget 2019-2020, in-depth analysis of the budget by experts, special budget bulletins and people's reaction on the budget will be the major highlights. This program will be available on FM Gold channel and other frequencies and on all social media platforms of News Services Division of All India Radio, that is AIR News Alerts on Twitter and Facebook and on News on AIR official YouTube channel and on our website www.newsonair.com.
The government has said it's ready for a constructive discussion on every issue of national importance during the budget session of Parliament. There was a consensus across party lines in the all-party meeting convened yesterday by the government on ensuring the smooth functioning of Parliament. Addressing floor leaders of parties in the Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said the government's focus lies on issues of national importance and finding solutions to the problems of the people. Later, a meeting of NDA leaders was held in New Delhi to chalk out the strategy during the budget session of Parliament. Leaders from NDA allies, including Shiv Sena, LJP and Apna Dal, among others, participated in the meetings. GST collections in January this year have crossed the 1 lakh crore rupee mark. In a tweet, the Finance Ministry said this has been a significant improvement in comparison to the GST collection of over 94,000 crore rupees last month. It said in January last year, the GST collection was 89,000 crore rupees. The ministry said increase in GST collection this month has been achieved despite various tax relief measures implemented by the GST Council to lower the tax burden on the consumers. The government has revised the economic growth rate upwards to 7.2% for 2017-18 from the earlier estimated growth rate at 6.7%. The Central Statistics Office, CSO, had earlier pegged the GDP growth rate for 2018-19 at 7.2%. It said real GDP, or GDP at constant prices, registered a growth of 7.2% during 2017-18 and 8.2% during 2016-17. The Defence Acquisitions Council, or DAC, chaired by Defence Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, yesterday approved indigenous construction of 6 submarines worth 40,000 crore rupees. It's the second project under the ministry's ambitious strategic partnership model, aiming to boost the government's Make in India program. More from our correspondent.
The construction of 6 advanced submarines under Project 75 India will provide major boost to submarine design and manufacturing ecosystem in India through transfer of design, equipment technology and skill sets. Defence Acquisition Council has also approved acquisition of about 5,000 Milan anti-tank guided missiles for the army. The French origin anti-tank guided missiles are meant for the Indian infantry to destroy main battle tanks which are fitted with explosive reactive armour. Anupam Mishra, AIR News, Delhi.
For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts. In Jammu and Kashmir, 2 terrorists were killed in an encounter in Drubgam, Rajpura area of Pulwama district last night. Security sources said that the bodies have been retrieved and identity of the slain terrorists is being ascertained. However, sources said that 2 are believed to be terrorists of the Hizbul Mujahideen. A gunfight raged between the terrorists and a joint team of security forces in Rajpura area around midnight. India has asked Pakistan not to interfere in India's internal affairs. Reacting to the telephonic conversation between Foreign Minister of Pakistan, Shah Mahmood Qureshi, and separatist Mirwais Omar Farooq, External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Ravish Kumar said the behavior of the Pakistani Foreign Minister is condemnable.
This action by Pakistan has confirmed yet again that it officially abets and encourages individuals associated with terrorism and anti-India activities. If such action by Pakistan, which undermines the unity, sovereignty and territorial integrity of India, is repeated, it will have consequences.
Germany, France and the United Kingdom have set up a payment channel called Instex with Iran to help continue trade and circumvent US sanctions. Brussels hopes the special payment system will help save the Iran nuclear deal by allowing Tehran to keep trading with EU companies despite Washington reimposing sanctions after US President Donald Trump abruptly quit the accord last year. The 3 countries launched the device at a meeting of EU foreign ministers in Bucharest. While the new institution called Instex is a project of the 3 governments, it will receive the formal endorsement of all 28 EU members. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.nic.in. The government has approved construction of 4,78,670 more affordable houses for the benefit of the urban poor under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban. In a press release, the Housing and Urban Affairs Ministry said the approval was given in the 42nd meeting of the Central Sanctioning and Monitoring Committee held in New Delhi. The ministry said, out of the total houses, over 1 lakh houses each have been sanctioned for Andhra Pradesh and West Bengal and over 91,000 for Uttar Pradesh besides other states. Domestic cooking gas LPG price has been cut by 1 rupee 46 paise per cylinder from midnight. It's the 3rd straight reduction in a month's time due to the tax impact on reduced market rate of the fuel. In a statement, Indian Oil Corporation Limited said a 14.2 kilogram subsidized LPG cylinder will now cost 493 rupees 53 paise in the national capital as against 494 rupees 99 paise. In tennis, India will take on Italy in the Davis Cup World Group qualifiers beginning in Kolkata from today. The hosts will rely on in-form Prajnesh Guneshwaran and favourable home conditions to upset former champions Italy in their bid to qualify for the inaugural Davis Cup Group finals. Prajnesh will clash with Italian Matteo Berrettini, while Andrea Seppi, who will be leading the Italian challenge, will face Ramkumar Ramanathan today in the singles. In the doubles tomorrow, Rohan Bopanna and Divij Sharan will lead India against Italy's duo of Marco Cecchinato and Simone Bolelli. And now, for a look at today's newspapers, it's over to Saira Mujtaba.
Thank you, Sanjay. The controversy over the National Sample Survey or NSS jobs data accessed by the Business Standard newspaper dominates front page headlines. The Times of India lead says, Government disputes report pegging jobless rate at 45-year high, calls it premature. Highlighting the Niti Aayog's reaction, the Indian Express writes, Niti calls adverse job report a draft. Ex-Stat head says, no, it's final. President Ramnath Kovind's address to a joint sitting of Parliament is prominently covered in the press. The Tribune reports, President defends demonetization, Rafale, addressing House heaps praise on government on triple talaq, surgical strikes. It's budget day today and most papers speculate on what it's likely to contain. The DNA observes, PM's last budget could have soft farm benefits. The Pioneer states, 12,000 rupees per year cash to small farmers, 14% hike in agriculture budget mooted. In the backdrop of the former CBI director Alok Verma refusing to accept his new assignment after being removed from his post as CBI director, the Hindustan Times notes, Verma faces show cause notice for not joining work. The Times of India reports, Verma fails to join new post, puts pension benefits at risk. The election results for 2 assembly seats get wide traction in the press. With Ramgarh win, Congress reaches halfway mark in Rajasthan Assembly, writes the Indian Express. The Tribune notes, BJP wins Jind by poll, Congress third. Row over mismatch of EVMs, 2 complaints lodged with election officials. Many papers report that the government has revised growth figures. The DNA informs, government revises financial year 2018 GDP growth to 7.2%, demonetization years to 8.2%. And with that, it's back to you, Sanjay.
Thank you, Sarah. That was a look at today's newspapers. And now, before we end this bulletin, the headlines once again. Finance Minister Piyush Goyal to present Union Budget in Parliament this morning. GST collections in January crosses 1 lakh crore rupee mark. Defence Acquisitions Council approves indigenous construction of 6 submarines worth 40,000 crore rupees. 2 terrorists killed in an encounter in Pulwama district of Jammu and Kashmir. Germany, France and the United Kingdom set up a payment channel with Iran to help continue trade and circumvent US sanctions. And in tennis, India to take on Italy in Davis Cup World Group qualifiers beginning in Kolkata today. And for details of these stories and more, log on to our website newsonair.nic.in. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.